Hey everybody, hope you're doing good. Today I'm going to teach you how to reverse a string when a user enters a line. And this can be helpful for just learning how to swap anything. And the way that I'm going to do it is using a for loop. So first thing that we're going to want to do is we're going to create a string variable. And we'll just call it line. And then we want to make sure to ask the user to enter a line. So this is pretty simple. And once we get this part, we're going to have basically the person input their line. So we're going to use a getLine function, and it's going to take in cin and line. That way it reads what the user is entering. And here we're going to start our for loop. So before I do create this for loop, I'm just going to make brackets for the if statement, and then I'm going to make a cout statement to let us know that after you entered a line, here are going to be the characters that are reversed. Okay, so now we're going to basically start our for loop, and this for loop is going to have three things in it that will be determining it to swap through. And we're going to make an integer I, which is equal to line.length. And line.length is a function that's built into C++, and it basically tells you how long your string is and how many characters are in that. And before we go on to the next statement, we're going to also do -1, and that way it's going to be incrementing the correct values of characters. And the next statement is going to be saying that I is greater or equal to 0. And this way it'll loop through so that when I is finally getting close to 0 and it is equal to 0, it will stop the loop. And we do this because our last statement in the for loop is going to be I minus minus. So basically all of this is saying that this part is getting the length of what is being entered by the user. So it'll be some integer of characters. And then it's going to decrease by 1 each time it runs. And it's going to stop once I is equal to 0. So if you enter a line of 10 characters, then it will just slowly go down until it is equal to 0, and then your loop is basically done. So in our for loop, then we're just going to see out the array of characters, and in that array is going to be the variable I. Now after that, we're going to just make an end line, so that way if we keep making things in our function, basically it'll clear the line. So let's save this, and I think it did build, and let's run the program. So if I bring up my output up here, let's enter, say, program. And once I click enter, well, It is reversing it, but I actually do not want this end line in here. That was my mistake. Let's run it again, and I think this time it will do it on a different line. Or do it on the same line, I mean. So there it is, it's reversed, and that's pretty much it for this program. So just remember that this for loop has three important things, and that is your length of characters, decreasing your I value, and stopping it once I is equal to 0. And this line is going to be using this I value in here for the array of the line. And that's just about it. So I'm going to wrap it up, and thanks for watching. So